Got it. Super. Thank you, sir.
He wants it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, now our next speaker is a man who knows how to transform the mental and psychological structures of others, a man with the right schema for how things or people work or change, what goals to achieve, the places and times to act, and what tools to use. Please put your hands together for our next international speaker, Mr. Jabir Walji, and he is a strategic, artistic, and systematic innovation professor. Thank you very much, professional.
Morning, everyone. I hear that yesterday was an excellent day with His Highness over here. I seriously missed that and really, regretting I wasn't here, but unfortunately I just couldn't make it. Sorry. I just want to ask is, how many people have heard of TRIZ or know about TRIZ? Systematic Innovation Methodologies? No? A little bit more background on myself, and I'm going to go into that. I was working for the Ministry of Public Works in Qatar for 7 years in strategy and innovation. Before that, I was in UK with Shell, doing the downstream strategy for downstream oil, which was launched in 2000, and after that, with a facility management company where they formulated a strategy that was used to sell the company. A little bit more background, and people wonder where I am from, so my background is in Uganda. All right. Okay, let me dive straight into it. A little bit of background on TRIZ and systematic innovation, how these methodologies came across. It was based on the analysis of 3 million patents, started in 1946. Patents is the analysis of excellence, the study of excellence. That study of excellence was broadened into the study of excellence in business, art, psychology, and other areas. That has given us a breakthrough database that says that most or all innovation, technically or business innovation, knowingly or unknowingly, came from 40 invented principles. All right? Now these are the 40 invented principles that can be applied for technical innovation as well as business innovation. For example, if you look at innovation, principle number 2, if I'm doing technical innovation, I'll use the word extraction. If I'm doing a business innovation idea, I'll be using taking out. So it's the same language for technical and non-technical. Hence, the technical people can speak to the business people, and the business people can understand what the technical people are talking about. If I filter this further down, it gives me the 6 pillars of innovation. This is how innovation happens. This is the philosophy of innovation. Now what I'm going to talk over here is, okay, systematic innovation, how that came across. The base for systematic innovation is the TRIZ. On top of that, we bring in the Western methodologies, and that gives us the 21st century tools, which are written over there, that has given us non-technical trends, new pillars of innovation, perception mapping, creativity measure, pensetting, generation analysis, etc., etc. So that's the whole systematic innovation. The broader picture is the systematic innovation, which I'm going to be talking. Right, everybody knows about brainstorming. You've got divergent thinking and convergent thinking happening, right? It's used in design thinking and generally as well. Now, what happens in a normal divergent brainstorming session is after 20 minutes, you most likely are going to run out of ideas being generated. However, during the divergent stage, if you bring in the 40 inventive principles, this is what happens. So when the first time you do a brainstorm, 20 minutes, you run out of ideas, you go to another principle. So every time you go to a new principle of the innovation, you generate new ideas because the focus area has changed. So you get more ideas and in a systematic way. I'll give you a case example. What happened was, this was a biotech we started up with my colleagues in Qatar, 2015, and we did an ideation workshop. Basically, I was the guy who was talking about systematic innovation language. My colleagues did not know about it, so I did a mini workshop for 2 days. At the end of the 2 days, we did a brainstorming to see how we can improve our product that we have come up with. And guess what happened? We came up with 72 ideas just using 9 principles in 1.5 hours Out of that, 2 ideas came out were world class, which was not related to the product. Of those, 1 idea is going to be pursued in Cambridge next year. I was talking to another guy a couple of days ago. He was a startup company, and he said, I did a brainstorming and I felt incomplete. I thought there was more there, but I did not know how to bring it out. And when I showed him this tool, he goes, yeah, that makes sense. Then I know that if I'm going through the 14 inventive principles, I've exhausted everything. I've exhausted every perspective from where I can generate ideas from. So that's the power of this. In another workshop, it was a manufacturing company in Hong Kong that was developing ladies' hair, ladies' sort of clips for the hair. We were 3 groups. Our group came up with 56 ideas. The other group also somehow, right? So in total, we came up with 100 ideas. 3 groups came up with 100 ideas for that manufacturing company. We go through systematically. So you're looking from every different perspective. How can I generate idea from this perspective, from takeout, from merging, from dynamization, for other way around, etc., etc. So that's the trigger points for your right brain to abstract information from your left brain. Now, when you come to conversion, I like this framework which came out of GE Fast Work. So you have, I wish I had the pointer. On the bottom you can have time and cost, and at the vertical you can have the impact on customers, right? So you can do a very quick, you come up with the whole ideas and say, okay, you put them in those quadrants so you know which one. So the one at the bottom, management usually like quick wins. Right? So those are the ideas at the left-hand corner. You do it, they come up very fast, the cost is low, the time is low. Okay, the impact may not be great, but there are low-hanging fruits, you can get that. Right? So this was the exercise we did in Kuwait for the science, I think it was a science center in IMAX over there. So this is the sort of conversion exercise we did, and you can see how it sort of, comes. It's a very crude and very fast way of doing it, and it's very good. Okay, now I want to come to the next, excuse me. The next topic is how do you use these tools to come up, to develop concepts. I've been to many conferences over here, not here, just worldwide, where they're talking about strategy execution using balanced scorecard. I've not, not much on strategy formulation, but nobody sort of talk, okay, how do you come up with strategic concepts, So I'm going to talk about that, how do we come up with strategic concepts using these tools, okay? So this is one of the pillars of innovation, which I showed, which is space and time. It helps you look at the big picture. The example I've used over here is the tree. So you can see when you plant the seed, it becomes a young tree, wood, and then after wood you can use it for any products. And the tree gives flowers, fruit, concentrated milk, juice, and you can sell, and at the top becomes a forest, cold. So it gives you a big picture, holistic view as to what's happening. So now, okay, this is one of the systematic innovation trends that are about, I think 28 or something like that, is non-technical trends. What this is saying is, when you analyze data, it becomes information. Information understood, knowledge. We are all talking about knowledge economy. But sorry, I would like to disagree over here. You have, once you got the knowledge, you've got to move into the wisdom. And that is not happening, or is now sort of happening. So we'll see how, when you go into the wisdom mode, how things can change, how the perspective can change. A small example here is tomato, which is a fruit, but we have it as a salad. So that's wisdom. Okay, we now put fruits in our salad as well. I understand that, all right? But just giving you a context. So wisdom is knowledge applied to context. Now I want to apply that to developing a traffic concept. Now I've taken the 9-meter here and I say, I'm in the middle, I'm the system, my kids are the super system, and my parents are the subsystem from my perspective and my kids' perspective. Now somebody told me over here in UAE that when an Emirati dies in a traffic accident, it costs the government something like 360 million dirhams to look after the family. The number was big, it may not be 360 million, but I went, wow, that's a huge number. So when an accident happens, I'm wiped out. So the subsystem is looking after the super system, or I'm replaced by the government that becomes the system. And a very quick thing I said, you can see why Africa is in this problem, right? Is the final frontier. Because when slavery happened, they did not take the grandparents, they did not take the kids, they took the system away. The whole system of Africa was taken away to Europe and America. So that's why even now Africa is suffering, because the system has been wiped out by HIV and AIDS. So you can see the grandparents are looking after the kids in South Africa because the parents are not there. So you can, visualize why there's an issue in Africa, because the system is not there. So now they're developing a system that's another topic we can go into. So now, if I develop a reward system where the government say, if you do not have an accident or if you do not violate the traffic law, we will reward you. And let's say the government gives you 30,000 dirham. Resource is another pillar in systematic innovation. What my kids are going to tell me is, Dad, do not violate any traffic laws next year because we want that 30,000 dirhams to go to Paris Disney World. So I'm using the internal resource, the peer pressure of my kids and my family to change my behavior. Right? Now, if I bring the context into account is, let's take UAE, then I'll give you an example of Saudi, what's happening. It's a small affluent country, population is about 1.4 million. Let's say half of them don't drive, so 700,000. Of that, let's say another 200 don't down, so 400 to 600,000 Emiratis are driving. So a reward system of 30,000 or 20,000 or some other is very much doable, can be done. Okay? Now if you look at the people who are having accidents, the age group is 21, 29, majority, right? Who are these people? It's the PlayStation generation. What are they used to? Gamification, rewards, leaderboards, right? So now, there's only two ways you can change a human being's behavior. One is pain and one is gain. The whole traffic system everywhere in the world is based on penalty. That's one side of the coin. What about the other side of the coin, which is rewards? That's totally missing. Who is the generation? PlayStation. What are they looking for? Not penalties, rewards. To change their behavior. Okay? Sport is a total game. They've used gamification to turn sport into business. Let's do it the other way around. Principle number 5 or 6. Traffic is a serious business. I'm not saying it's not. Let's turn it into a game. Let's gamify traffic. Look at the numbers at the below, the trends. 2.2% decrease in accidents, 5.2% in deaths, and I can't remember, 3.4%. Guys, these are not breakthrough numbers. We are living in the 21st century. We are looking at exponential growth, exponential achievements, which are breakthrough. So we are not doing something right here. So we need to look at double-digit figures, 10% plus. If you want to break through, it's 20% plus. How can we get that? That's the question you've got to ask. Not on incremental, increasing the penalties, or if you're jumping the red light, I'm going to charge 1,000 now, I've increased that charge to 30,000 or 20,000 or whatever. That's not going to work. That's incremental. All right? So basically, as I said, principle number 13, somebody somewhere in the world has solved your problem. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Copying from the gaming industry, Formula One, sports, any sports industry, they've turned a game into a business through gamification. Pick up the concept, modify it in your thing, and change the traffic rules. Okay? Now, the biggest wow I got was seriously last week when DQG invited me to the 6th Change Management Conference. I was really excited, and I'm glad I've got this opportunity to share with you. Dr. Saeed was there. He presented traffic accident case study in Saudi Arabia, right? And look at this. 600,000 accidents per year in Saudi, right? That's huge. 27 deaths per day, 1 hour per day, right? The family's been infected. 85% due to driver's error. I'm not going to go into details, like jumping the lights, doing the U-turn, using the mobile phones, vehicle condition, etc. Now, the next one is amazing. The cost, $24 billion per year. That is a huge cost for any country, all right? Now, the amazing thing was when they brought in gamification, they did that last year or something. Look at the participation rate. Boom! Gone up, right? They were doing a pilot, they just wanted 30, 40 people, but it went viral. Why did they took up? Because fun. People like fun, right? The behavior change was a byproduct. What we call it in innovation is the behavior improved by itself. There's a concept called self-X, which I will share with you. Speed went down, phone usage went down by 17%, speed went down by 17%, phone usage went down. Now, this is an important slide. When I showed my slide to Dr. Saeed, his first reaction was, wow, it took us 2 years to bring gamification. It took me 1 week in 2011 when I was working in Qatar to develop a strategic concept for gamification and give it to my management. We are in the world of agility. You have to be agile. You can't wait for 2 years. This methodologies that I'm talking to you are agile methodologies. He was mind blown. He said, wow, you came this in 1 week? It took us 2 years. You see the difference? Okay. I spoke to him last year. I said, Dr. Saeed, I'm going to share some of your slides with the college participants here. Is that okay with you? He goes, yes, absolutely, it's fine. This was his comment. The audience will enjoy your presentation to see the conclusion you came to was in a very fast timeline. This was yesterday evening. We can't wait 2 years. We've got to adapt methodology that, gives us agility, framework, agility of methodologies and all that. One thing he said was, they did a survey and 79% of the people said that no, we are not even going to pay $1 per month for the solution you have given unless we have, oh wow, that's fast, financial incentive. For me, it was apparent that no, because this is PlayStation generation. They're used to freemium services. They want reward for participation even if they come last, and innovation tells us that, and see how it tells us. This is Google's business model, correct? It's free, perfect, now, on demand. I don't pay for Google, nobody pays for Google. That's ideality, right? So, this is the ideality formula. Benefit, cost becomes zero, benefit becomes infinite, value added becomes infinite. Okay? So it tells me that people are not going to pay their PlayStation generation premium services. Okay? So basically the customer trend, if you look at that, is cheaper, better, faster. If I take cheaper, better, faster to the nth level, it becomes free, perfect now, which is Google. This is what the customers are wanting. Now, once you have free, perfect Google, you have self-X kicking in, which is driving behavior improved by itself. So my innovation methodology tells me what my customers will want, or I can anticipate what their needs and wants will be, rather than doing 2 years of analysis and research and all that. Okay. Hello. All right, quickly, there's another concept in innovation. What we say is you don't start over here, you go into the future, define your ideal final result, what it is, and then you come backwards. So that's called backcasting. And over here, taking the example of clothes. Ideal clothes is a shirt that doesn't get dirty or cleans itself. Can I have it at the moment? Yes or no? No. What's my sub-ideal? Can I have that? No. What's my sub-sub-ideal? What's my sub-sub-ideal? It brings me to the present. So you can see over here, we had hand wash, then washing powder, then concentrated washing powder. You can use it more. Washing machine that uses no soap powder, air wash, so and so. So you can see what happens is the function stays the same, which is a clean shirt. This is what I want, but the solution keeps changing. Function is king. Customer wants function. He's buying function. I don't give a damn if my shirt is washed by my maid. All right. So now I'm going to take this concept and apply. Everybody's talking about smart city. In innovation, we say, okay, what is next? What is next? So what's after smart city? Is a super smart city. What's next? Super duper smart city. What is next? Ideal city, right? Now let's take the context into account of this region. Okay, we are in the hydrocarbon industry. We want to get out of it. What do we want? We want foreign direct investment coming in. Okay, who brings foreign direct investment? Business people, right? What do the business people want? They want a place where they can go and do the business cheaper, better, faster. What is cheaper, better, faster? It's disruption. What are they looking for? A disruptive city. Smart city is part of a disruptive city. Can I have that at the moment? Yes or no? No. What's my sub-disruptive city? What's my sub-disruptive city? Sub. So you see how I'm developing strategic concept here from using these innovation methodologies? We're looking at the big picture. So now, another concept is how to develop concept from contradiction. An ideal bicycle seat is at the bottom of a chair. If I've got a chair, I cannot paddle. So they could not solve the design contradiction, so they came up with a bicycle seat like that. However, I want a wide and narrow. I applied principle number 1, segmentation, and I applied principle number 15, dynamization. I solved the problem. Okay, contradiction solved, ideality achieved, functionality given, customer happy. I can charge more money for this seat. How do I apply this? Apply to a city. What happens when people used to tell me in Dubai, they used to say, it should take me 20 minutes from Bar Dubai to get to Jabal Ali. Now it takes me 1 hour. What is the customer saying? The tool helps you abstract what the customer is saying, what the customer doesn't know himself. What he's saying is, I want to get from A to B when Dubai is small, and I want to get from A to B in 15 minutes when Dubai is big. What is that? That's a contradiction. You've got to design a city where those criteria are met. That is what the customer wants. So that is when it comes to how you design a disruptive city. You have 6 lanes going to Jabal Ali in the morning when the traffic is there, and 6 lanes coming back in the evening when the traffic is the other way. So that's one way of doing a disruptive city, and there are many ways of doing it. So it's not about big or small, it's big and small. It's not about high quality and low cost, it's high quality and low cost, and you can say on demand and on demand. I think I've sort of explained how you can sort of use this methodology, which is an agile methodologies, to come up with more ideas. How do you develop strategic concepts? Using two examples here for traffic. One took 2 years, this took about 1 week. And how do you apply that to cities and all that. In fact, I'm going to be talking to one of the Emirates over here next week about disruptive city, how they can come up with a disruptive city, and what is required from urban strategy, traffic strategy, real estate strategy, retail strategy, how you merge them together to come up with a disruptive city. Thank you very much.
If I may call on stage Mr. Saleh Jani, the ex-chairman of Dubai Quality Group, he's going to hand the trophy to Mr. Jabir Walji. One more time, give a round of applause to Mr. Jabir Walji for his excellent presentation.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Well, our next speaker is the CEO and the architect of systematic innovation. He has been developing, teaching, and deploying innovation tools and processes since 1991, when he was an engineer and a scientist at Rolls-Royce Aerospace. Please put your hands together for Professor Daryl Mann talking about ideas and concept generation via systematic innovation. Trace.